This is one of those topics that historically has been brutally difficult for women to come forth and share their story. The EEOC posted an article in 2022 reporting that 90% of sexual harassment victims never take formal action such as filing a charge or a complaint. 90%. Why? They know there's an extremely high probability their abuser won't be held accountable. So not only are these women put through a terrible experience, either physically or verbally, but after it happens, they know it's almost impossible to prove what happened. And it's awful. I can't imagine being put through that horrible experience, and then on top of that, your abuser is deemed innocent? You shouldn't ever go to your place of work worried about your body or what some creepy guy wants to say to you. Does your boss act like a jerk? Use EPS. Ladies, has that creeper at your job been a little extra creepy lately? Use EPS. EPS gives you the ability to change your level of empowerment in the workplace. The most fundamental reasons why these problems continue, other than blatant sexism, is because far too often these are scenarios known as word versus word. If someone does or says something sexist to you, it's impossible to prove that it happened unless there's witnesses. But remember, bad people do bad things when nobody's watching. And unless you have proof, the unfortunate reality is that people must side with your abuser. There's only two people on this planet that know what really happened. It's you and your abuser. And without proof, it's almost impossible to effectively hold your abuser accountable. Meanwhile, you're still a victim. You're just trying to do your job. Oh, and now on top of that, you have to worry about the next time you'll experience that sexism, because you never know when it'll happen. Oh, and if you do speak up, others might perceive you as the woman who cried wolf. She just wants money or attention. Even though you were actually abused, nobody knows it happened. You never had proof. Now on the flip side, if you had proof, that sure would fix a lot of problems, wouldn't it? That person would definitely check themselves before speaking or acting that way towards you again. Plus, if they did, then you could finally hold your abuser accountable. And all the other people at your job won't have a single doubt about what really happened to you. You were telling the truth because you could prove it. And now nobody can ever doubt you again. My guess is that you came here because you've experienced workplace sexual harassment or sexism, or because you know someone this has happened to, or you know it can happen to you the very next time you go to work and you want to prevent it. There's simply no room in this world for anyone to be treated differently based on their gender, particularly at their place of work. Yet sexist issues still creep their way into the workplace. You're sick of it. You're sick of worrying. You came here to find a better solution to these problems, and EPS is exactly that. Bad people do bad things when nobody's watching. Just think about it. Doors are designed to protect information, but they're also designed to protect people. Unfortunately, in the workplace, they can have the exact opposite effect. Closed-door meetings have become a breeding ground for inappropriate behavior and unprofessionalism. These horrible events manifest themselves in the workplace into categories more commonly known as racism, sexual harassment, false accusations, sexual orientation or religious discrimination, general unprofessionalism, and even child grooming. When you see that door close, anything can happen, and it's now your word versus theirs. And it's not just when you're behind a closed door. These problems can happen anywhere at your job. In the hallway, at your own desk, the parking lot. Abusers will target their victims when there's no witnesses around. And not just physical abusers, but verbal abusers as well. Bad people do bad things when nobody's watching. EPS gives you the ability to change all of that. The next video will explain exactly how the EPS magic can change your work life forever. Just remember to raise your shield.